Jay-Z, what are you doing? What you doing? So that boy Hov just recently changed his name on all the streaming platforms to Jay-Z with 2 dots.
Out there, not as good as I'm looking these days, but you know, but you're looking good out there. And number 2, he's running with my number. Shador got my number.
I feel that I'm compensated for my art. I didn't take advantage. I didn't get here by taking advantage of people. I didn't take no one. That's not my reputation. That's not what I do.
Jay-Z, what's going on here? Seriously, what is he doing? So yeah, Hov just switched up his name across all streaming platforms again. Now it's Jay-Z with those 2 dots over it. Not exactly a glow up move, but hey, it's definitely got people talking. And let's not forget what he's been saying lately about being paid fairly for his art, never taking advantage of anyone, and building his career the right way. That's the image he's standing on. But here's where it gets interesting. His team is pushing the idea that this name tweak is just to celebrate 30 years of reasonable doubt. Sounds clean, right? Problem is, not everyone's buying that story. And definitely not Mase, because from his perspective, everything happening to Jay right now, that's validation, that's receipts. That's 20 years of calling it finally catching up in real time. And let's be real, Jay-Z has been catching heat from all directions lately. Epstein files, Harvey Weinstein connections, and that GQ interview that rubbed even his own fans the wrong way. He came off so tone deaf, people started questioning everything, and now suddenly there's a name change in the middle of all that. Yeah, people are connecting dots, and Mase, he's not staying quiet. He's basically saying this moment right here, it's been coming.
You can believe what you want to believe.
Word.
You know, and people behave the way they want to behave.
Mm-hmm. You was who you was before you got here.
Was who you was before you got here. Yeah. That's the makeup of your person.
Alright, so why does all of this hit different for Mase? Simple. He's been calling this out from the very beginning, like way before it was popular. Everything Jay-Z is dealing with now, Mase was talking about it 2 decades ago. Let's rewind to 1997. Back then, Mase was running the game. Harlem World went 4 times platinum. He had chart toppers and the whole bad boy machine behind him. Meanwhile, Jay-Z was still trying to break through. Reasonable Doubt was struggling just to hit gold status. And that's when Mase took his first shot. On Love Me, he rapped, "All we hear is platinum this, platinum that. Nobody got no platinum hits." That wasn't random, that was aimed straight at Jay, calling him out for talking big without the numbers to back it up. But it wasn't just music. There was something more personal behind the tension, and her name was Ariane. She showed up in a skit on Harlem World where Mase jokingly mixed up his girlfriend's names. But in real life, Ariane was connected to Jay-Z's circle. Specifically, she was one of his friend's baby mothers. And Jay didn't take too kindly to her being used in that way.
It was based on a young lady named Ariane that I put in a skit. And it was done really harmlessly. At the time, I was 19 years old, so I was just, you know, trying to create a vibe and show people what Harlem was like, you know, from a real Harlem perspective. And it's just, you know, she wanted to do it, so I let her do it. At the time, I didn't know she was, you know, one of his guys' baby moms or something like that.
So after that, things escalated. Mase throws his jab and Jay fires back on Ride or Die with that line, "Check your own videos, you'll always be number 2. That was a direct shot. He was referencing Mase standing behind Diddy in the Can't Nobody Hold Me Down video, wearing a number 2 jersey while Puff had number 1. Translation, Jay was basically saying Mase would always play second to somebody. But here's what doesn't get talked about enough. According to Dipset's 40 Calories, it didn't stop at music. He claims Jay-Z actually pulled up on Mase in Harlem, face to face, to assert dominance. Not just rap beef, real life pressure.
About 20 minutes later, Jay-Z pulls up in the 4.6 range that he always talked about, the black joint. He hops out. Mase said, "Yeah, all that cool, but who was you talking about on that song when you like check your own video numbers?" Jay was like, "Everybody know I'm talking about you."
Fast forward to 1999, and this is where things take a turn. Mase walks away from the game at his absolute peak. Why? Because, according to him, Diddy allegedly tried to involve him in a freak-off situation. And whatever Mase or whoever was involved, it shook him enough to leave everything behind. He turned to the church, became a pastor, and stepped completely away from the industry machine. Meanwhile, Jay-Z, he stayed close with Diddy for years. Now look at 2026. Diddy's locked up. Jay's name is showing up in those same conversations, and suddenly he's rebranding his name. If you checked Apple Music, Tidal, or YouTube recently, you've probably noticed it already. His team says it's about celebrating Reasonable Doubt turning 30, but let's be honest, this feels familiar. Because Diddy's been doing that for years. Puff Daddy.P Diddy, Brother Love. Every time controversy hit, the name changed. And now, people are saying Jay might be following that exact same playbook. The internet caught on immediately too. One fan even joked, bro's just trying to make himself harder to Google. But here's the reality. You can switch names all day, but your past doesn't change. And right now, that past is catching up fast. Jay's name didn't just show up once, it came up twice in those files. First, in an FBI intake report where a woman claims she woke up in a room with Harvey Weinstein and Jay-Z, but it goes deeper than that, and this part barely got mainstream attention. There was also an email from former Barclays CEO Jess Staley to Epstein, dated February the 3rd, 2014. In it, Staley talked about protests in Brazil and claimed something like that could never happen in the US. Because according to him, black protesters had already been bought off by Jay-Z. The email literally said, "You want to know why we are not Sao Paulo? Watch the Super Bowl ads. Hip blacks, hip cars, white women. The group that should be in the streets has been bought off by Jay-Z." That's a wild statement, basically painting Jay as someone used to keep people distracted, keeping attention on luxury and image instead of real issues. And when you connect that to later moments, it raises questions. That email was from 2014. 2 years later, Colin Kaepernick takes a knee and gets blackballed by the NFL. Then who steps in? Jay-Z, partnering with the NFL, becoming the face of their We Hear You Now campaign, and one of his first public statements. We're past kneeling.
Okay, I think we've passed kneeling. Yeah, I think it's time to go into actionable items. I think everyone knows what the issue is, and we're done with that. Everyone knows what you know what the issue is? You know why we were kneeling? Okay, do you know the issue? Yeah, do you know the issue? Yes? We all know the issue now.
Then in September 2025, Jay-Z and Beyonce were spotted sitting with Ivanka Trump and Jared Kushner at a Reform Alliance event, Jay's own organization, meaning those seats weren't random. He chose that table, and people started asking why, the answer some are pointing to. At that level, it's less about race and more about class. Billionaires move with billionaires. Jay-Z might have more in common with Ivanka and Jared than with the average person watching this. Jay has always positioned himself as the bridge between the streets and corporate power. But now people are questioning, who is he really representing? Every major moment, Black Lives Matter, Capper, protests, critics say Jay shows up and shifts the energy toward working within the system, encouraging people to trust the process instead of pushing harder. And that perception didn't help after his GQ interview. The interview itself. Soft questions, no real pressure. The interviewer avoided topics like Diddy or those files completely. Jay briefly mentioned that dismissed lawsuit and how it affected him, but didn't speak on Diddy's alleged victims or their long-standing relationship.
It's hard, really hard. I was like heartbroken. I haven't been that angry in a long time. Uncontrollable anger. Like, you don't put that on someone. Like, that's the thing that you better be super sure. It was like a testament because people know me. Like, I know who you are, and that's impossible.
Even more interesting, the lawyer who handled that case for Jay, Alex Spiro, was also mentioned in those same files. And when Jay was asked about criticism toward billionaires, he brushed it off, saying it's just a cop out to villainize wealthy people. Then doubled down, claiming he never took advantage of anyone.
I didn't take advantage. I didn't get here by taking advantage of people. I didn't take it. No one. That's not my reputation. That's not what I do. I didn't get here by taking advantage of people or taking advantage of, the loopholes in the system or some wrinkle in like a capitalist structure. That structure exists, and I just see the world for what it is, not for what I want it to be. I'm a realist, not an ideal. It's not idealistic.
He also weighed in on the Kendrick vs. Drake situation, saying it went too far.
So much negative stuff that comes with it, they almost wish it didn't happen.
Really?
Yeah, because it's almost like it's a final thing. Now people that like Kendrick hate Drake.
Yeah.
No matter what he makes, no matter what he says, and it goes far too. It's like attack on his character and his thing and it's like, I don't know if I love that.
But wait, wasn't Jay the one who chose Kendrick for the Super Bowl? The same Kendrick who performed a track taking shots at Drake, and now suddenly it's too negative. That contradiction didn't go unnoticed, but the moment that really stood out, when Jay leaned into his Hove nickname, derived from Jehovah, and talked about being untouchable. That didn't sit right with a lot of people.
What the like, what? I'm Jay-Z. or due respect to him, I'm fucking Hove.
Honestly, whoever greenlit that GQ interview didn't do him any favors. It made things worse. He came off disconnected, overly confident, and inconsistent, and judging by social media reactions, people aren't buying the image like they used to. One user on X summed it up, saying Jay-Z built a brand around black capitalism and personal success, selling it as a collective win, but in reality, it mirrors the same pull-yourself-up narrative used to ignore systemic issues. According to them, his success has always been tied to adopting the mindset of the same elite class he claims to challenge. And now, in 2026, that image is starting to feel outdated, even uncomfortable for some. But what do you think? After watching that GQ interview, where do you stand? And this name change? Coincidence or something more calculated? Drop your thoughts below and stay tuned for what's next.